encouraging public art, progress in Twinbrook, and a look ahead to tasty summer produce. All that and the latest news coming up next on the Montgomery Plans. Thanks for watching Montgomery Plans. I'm Michael Brown. We're here to bring you up to date on important land use issues facing those who live and work in Montgomery County. On today's show, we'll learn about the county's public art program, visit Twinbrook to see where things stand 3 years after a sector plan was approved, and discover how to get fresh summer produce while supporting local businesses. But first, let's go to the top news-making decisions of the Montgomery County Planning Board.
Welcome to Plans in the News. I'm Susan Kennedy. More than 30 years ago, a group of stakeholders held a conference on the future of agriculture around Sugarloaf Mountain. Their work resulted in the creation of Montgomery County's Agricultural Reserve. In January, a much larger group assembled to map out the future of agriculture in our region. More than 200 participants, farmers and representatives from various agencies, were at the universities at Shady Grove for a 2-day conference on farming at Metro's Edge, all with the common goal of developing ideas to keep agriculture alive in this populous region.
I think this is a great opportunity that we can flesh out some of the issues that farmers deal with that are onerous to us. There's regulations and zoning issues that we're constantly either defending ourselves from or trying to push for. So this is an opportunity to let more of the general public know some of the challenges that farmers are facing, especially in an increasing urban area that we're living in.
There's a large cross-section of people, a lot of farmers, and Montgomery still has a lot of farmers. Frederick has many more. And then there are people who are interested in conservation of the environment. And there are people who are interested in the cultural and historical resources that are available in the agricultural areas of our counties, which really reflect much of the cultural history of Maryland. So all of these people are interested in the protection of farming and farm communities.
I like the topic of this session, why do we do what we do? And I found myself sometimes pondering that question, why do I do this? So,
Participants at the conference spoke of economic and environmental demands and of how being a farmer in Montgomery County can be challenging.
The Ag Reserve, a lot of people's image is, oh, this is really pretty. But you have to understand that to keep these farms active and operating and keep the owners there that are doing that, they have to make money doing it. I farm about 1,000 acres. And you know, we run big machinery and make noise and dust sometimes, and find that a lot of people move to the country because they want to be in the environment that is created by farming, and yet they don't really like the noise and the dust and the machinery. We have a lot of commuters that go through the county, and sometimes they're not very patient when they're caught behind a slow-moving piece of machinery. Hopefully there'll be some exchange there where we gain a better understanding and maybe have people learn a little bit more about what we do.
When people think of sort of the nice idea of local farming, they're forgetting that this is an important part of our county's and our region's economic engine. We have not just a gift for our economy, but a gift for our food security. One need only look nationwide and worldwide at the areas that are suffering from drought to realize that we have a real opportunity here, and the market will drive it. People are paying for local food, people are paying for sustainably grown food, and when there's money to be made, people are going to get into that business.
Making sure residents have access to healthy food was also a topic of discussion.
And conferences like this, I believe, help for us to showcase the need for us to be flexible and adaptable.
Participants were in agreement that the Agricultural Reserve is the vehicle for providing a sound food system for the Washington area.
So we're really excited to be at this conference to talk with farmers, producers, same group that we have at the table, and just to build our network even more, to understand a little bit more deeply what some of the current challenges are to farming at Metro's Edge, to match the growing consumer demand for fresh, healthy, local food.
The County Council has approved the Burtonsville Crossroads Neighborhood Plan, which revitalizes the small community in northeast Montgomery County with mixed retail and housing, parks, and other infrastructure improvements, all of which have been a long time coming. The plan focuses on commercial properties along routes 198 and 29, an area that is now characterized by highways and disjointed strip malls. Lead planner Kristen O'Connor says new zoning specified in the plan will allow residential development and will also help small businesses.
Within the next month and a half, we're hoping that County Council has their public hearing and it's all approved, and we have new zoning for these shopping centers to put in the residential that they have promised, or at least in the interim try to get the commercial anchor store that we really need back in that old giant that's just sitting there right now with as an empty building. So along 198, it's even more important that we get a new zoning amendment through that amends the subdivision to allow for small additions to occur for these businesses to allow for larger bathrooms or more dining room space or even a larger kitchen. So we want to help small businesses as much as we can.
Councilmember Valerie Irvin represents the Burtonsville community. She says with this new plan, Burtonsville is on its way back.
What this plan does is it recognizes that there needs to be a downtown that's walkable. There needs to be green space. There needs to be community space. And so people are really excited about what we're doing, creating sidewalks, changing the facades, really making Burtonsville look like the kind of new downtowns that we're creating in other parts of the county.
Improvements to 198 are on hold until funding is available, but other measures are in the works to give the corridor a much-needed facelift.
We're allowing the businesses to continue. We want to provide landscaped areas and sidewalks and facade improvements that are so deserved. So I would think in the short term, the road improvements aren't going to happen, but in the long term, we're going to see a pretty nice promenade and Main Street along 198 that we're really excited about.
For years, the community has been searching for ideas to bring customers back to the businesses in Burtonsville. O'Connor says the implementation of the new mixed-use zone opens doors for new opportunities.
The shopping centers will definitely benefit because we have the new zoning, the new CR zone that will be allowing for the commercial to expand as well as the residential to offer some of that kind of synergy that goes on with people that live and work in one place.
A highlight of this vision of a complete neighborhood is a 13-acre park that will include 3 rectangular fields and space for events like Burtonsville Day. O'Connor says residents are excited to restore Burtonsville as a center of community activity.
We heard in many community outreach efforts that the community is so excited about having Burtonsville back on track and having those places to meet that they had when the Amish market was there and when the post office was there. And when these places go, the community just really looks for other opportunities to interact and see neighbors.
I'm Susan Kennedy for Plans in the News.
Including artwork in a new development, along a streetscape, or in a park can contribute to community identity and encourage economic development. Where it is located, how it connects to its surroundings, and whether it engages viewers can be as important as the design of the artwork itself. Here's Valerie Burton with more.
The Montgomery County Arts and Humanities Council is charged with maintaining the county's public art collection. Projects range from large installations in public plazas to two-dimensional framed work, some of which is on display in county buildings. Michelle Cohen helps manage the more than 500 works of art in Montgomery County's collection. She says public art serves an important function in creating a sense of community.
It's a way of enhancing a space with something that's sort of on the surface, but the really good public art, I think, sort of gets below the surface and reveals something about the site, something about the history, connects people together and to their location.
Can you give us some examples in Montgomery County that did that?
Yeah, it's been actually a real pleasure to discover the collection. The Public Safety Memorial by Ted Clausen that just was dedicated almost a year ago, so it's really quite new. And it's at the new Public Safety Headquarters in Gaithersburg. And I was very moved by the experience of walking through this memorial, which sort of takes the form of a labyrinth. So you have a sense of how you're walking and how you're sort of turning through the space. And then gradually the message is revealed. So it's a physical as well as mental experience.
Wow, that sounds really beautiful. What else?
Vicki Scurry did a project that's connected to the Rock Creek pedestrian bridge. And that both enhances a functional bridge meant for pedestrians and bicyclists, but it also reveals a piece of history. Montgomery County is a very old agricultural community, and there had been lots of mills located along Rock Creek, for example. So what Vicki wanted to do with this bridge was investigate that history and reveal it in a more poetic way. The mill stones themselves had different sorts of patterns in order to grind the meal. So there are references to that. The railings undulate in a way that's not just a functional rail. So they suggest water or movement. So I think that she successfully thought about the location and the history and also the users today, because they're also wonderful playful shadows that form at different times of day. So as you're walking across the bridge, you're becoming part of a shadow piece.
Public art doesn't just happen. It takes vision, capital, and coordination to put these pieces in place, particularly if they are large scale. In some cases, like Spirit of Freedom in Rockville, works are acquired and installed using public money. In other cases, private developers foot the bill, as was the case with this installation at United Therapeutics in Silver Spring. Susan Jenkins, CEO of the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County, oversaw an effort to develop a public arts policy to govern the procurement and installation of art countywide. The Planning Board was one of the agencies to bless that policy this winter.
We've worked really, really hard with the Public Art Trust Steering Committee to develop a policy that would help to encourage public art. So say we were going to put up a bus shelter. We may think of just, a structure with 4 sides and some glass, or we might think about something more aesthetically pleasing that could help people convene around it and make the community look a lot more livable. And so we want to be a lot more thoughtful in the next pieces of public art that we put in the county so that we can really draw people, communities, businesses to those areas.
The new commercial residential zone encourages developers to add public art to their projects, which is what happened here at the Galaxy Apartments in South Silver Spring. That's where I met up with Malene Smith, a planner who is the department's liaison on the art review panel. She is optimistic that new zoning will result in more public art and began by orienting me to existing artwork around us.
We're actually standing in front of Moon Dance by Martha Jackson Jarvis, and this is one of many. There's a public use space down the street. It has activated seating areas and a very lovely chandelier that spills down onto the pavement and creates this very dynamic marbling and bluestone textured pavement material, so it's really nice actually.
Yeah, so they really went the extra mile. Sounds very cool.
Yes, yes.
So we have this new mixed-use zone. How is that going to influence the amount of public art?
Oh, the new commercial residential zone, also known as the CR zone, has a list of opportunities for the developer to choose from in terms of public amenities, and so it gives them components that they could possibly use in their project to kind of ensue the public use space.
Do you think that will end up with more public art?
I definitely think that it will, because it seems to be the trend for development, not only in mosaics, but also in planters or in the pavement, actually putting, pavement patterns that are mosaics in the streetscape. So we're seeing a vast array of different things pop up in public art lately, and so we hope to get some more interactive pieces that keep the community engaged.
That's good to hear. The county is working with the Arts and Humanities Council and the Planning Department on this public arts policy. What's the intent of the policy?
The intent is to make it a more standard and uniform practice so that we can figure out how to do things like decommissioning art and maintenance of these facilities, who's responsible for them, and basically just set parameters.
The Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County played an integral role in developing this new policy.
So the policy is now being vetted to developers to help them understand the inner workings of the policy and to encourage them to partner with us to help them as they think about their project. We can offer some solutions that are not necessarily more expensive, but certainly more aesthetically pleasing that can help everyone meet their goals.
So it provides guidance.
Absolutely. Guidance, as well as we are on hand to provide ideas, because a developer knows what they do, but not necessarily may know about incorporating public art. So we have experts available to us who do know and have a long history of integrating public art into public plans, and we want to make those available so that the developer can really realize a vision that may even be more aesthetically pleasing and more exciting than even they began to think about.
So the public arts policy and the requirements of the new mixed-use zone should result in exciting and dynamic additions to the county's collection. Meanwhile, there are many existing projects worth a visit. I asked Malene Smith to mention her favorites.
Well, there are two. There's the Jim Sanborn piece, which is in the North Bethesda Market. It's a really dynamic piece that speaks to the flow of water, actually, considering the fact that Montgomery County is located between the coastal plain and the Piedmont. It actually correlates that idea with the concept for the art piece. It's really dynamic, and at nighttime it has a light that kind of lights up from the inside out, and so in the evening time the words kind of spill out onto the pavement and create a really dynamic a focal point in the whole plaza.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
The other one is Heidi Littman. She's actually around the corner, and it's a mural, and it has an array of colors and textures in the glass piece. It's actually 20 feet long, and it basically speaks about color and texture. There's a bunch of spirals in it that kind of translate onto the pavement when the sun hits it just the right way, and it's beautiful, actually.
The approved policy is available online and will be used to encourage developers to consider public art options in their projects. As always, you can learn more on our website.
Up next, Around Town in Twinbrook. Stay with us.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fred, here we are in Twinbrook, very close to the metro station in Twinbrook Commons, which is a residential development here. Tell us why this works.
This is a great place. I really like what I'm seeing here. This is Twinbrook Commons. We are actually standing in the city of Rockville. Just up the street behind me is Montgomery County. To my left is the city of Rockville. The station is to my left, and there's a beautiful parking garage that's very well hidden. That is a public parking garage and probably also serves local residents as well. But as you can see, there's a big parking lot behind me. That belongs to Metro, and that is from probably when this station was originally built, and Metro felt that they needed a good deal of parking and did not choose to put that parking in a garage. In a more perfect world, that might be a garage, or there might be development very similar to this, modest in scale, 5-6 stories with retail on the ground floor, that you could have a nice frame for the street. As it stands, it serves very well as a pedestrian conduit, if you will, to the Twinbrook Metro Station, and you'll always probably see plenty of people walking through here to get to the train station.
So this is really what we want here. My guess is most of these folks who live here take the Metro to work, and we're getting them out of their cars.
A lot of these people can take Metro to work. You can go right behind me and you can grab a sandwich or drop your cleaning off as you come and or go to work. This is also very, very environmentally sensitive. There's a compactor, a solar-powered compactor over behind me. There's recycling. There's a bike share just to my left for the local residents of this complex. There's a lot of work that's been done here in addition to being close to Metro to make this an environmentally sustainable development.
Fred, we've moved into the biotech area of Twinbrook, across the street from the Health and Human Services building. We've got construction going on behind us. How is this important to the success of the plan?
The presence of the federal government in any area is a catalyst for development. You can have more federal agencies that can arrive, and that can be offshoots, supporting activities that are germane to whatever the federal activity is in an area. This area is a hotbed of that sort of thing. U.S. Pharmacopoeia is here. As you can see, there's new development behind me that will probably be either federal activities or support activities. Down at the end of Fisher's Lane, there's a new federal enclave going in that will also include a brand new walking trail, because Rock Creek Park is right behind me, and that will enable both workers and local residents to have bicycle and pedestrian access into the park, which is a vital piece of a successful neighborhood.
And again, we're within walking distance of that Metro, so folks can take the Metro to work and walk here, so we're alleviating some of the need for the car.
Folks who work here can absolutely walk to Metro. And as you can see, and as we just saw, they can stop off and pick up something to eat at one of the little shops. There are restaurants over there. All the services that you need are kind of between here and the Metro station, so that you can run some errands on your way home or on your way to work.
Fred, what else do we need to see here in Twinbrook to illustrate this plan?
We should really walk over and take a look at the light industrial area. Light industrial activities are a real premium in Montgomery County.
Fred, we are here now in this light industrial area, if you will, of Twinbrook. Lots of different businesses here. Talk a little bit about how this fits in to the significance of the community.
This is a part of the county that you don't know anything about until one day you discover you need some countertops. And this turns out to be the place where you come to get them. There are all sorts of services like that here in this part of Twinbrook. I've come to these kinds of places, and look at these businesses. These are vital support industries and businesses for this community. You can have your air conditioner fixed here. You can get your car fixed here. There are all sorts of specialty items that happen in this area, in large measure because the space is relatively inexpensive. These places can be hard to find.
Sure.
You got a single address with a bunch of bays. There's an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E.
Right.
I've come to these kinds of places, and you basically drive around. You go by the place once,
Yeah.
you go by the place twice, and you know, at some point you finally realize that it's that little hole in the wall over there.
Right. That's interesting too, and a lot of these businesses look like they've been here for quite some time.
This is a part of the county that is very quiet and very unsung, but it has been here for a long time, providing these services. And that's why we recognized, as we did the Twinbrook sector plan, that it was important to keep it here. And you can't allow every single place to become new. Some places need to stay a little bit old and to provide certain kinds of services that are always going to be around. These are all vital, vital, vital services that we need to continue to provide for people who live here.
Great. Well, Fred, I want to thank you so much. This has been a great tour of Twinbrook. We've learned some new things, found some new businesses we didn't know existed. So I want to thank you very much. That does it for this episode of Around Town. Maybe we'll be in your neighborhood next time.
Montgomery County is home to more than 500 farms, and nearly 40% of those farms produce food for local residents. From late winter through late fall, local produce fills county markets and roadside stands. To be sure you have plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables this growing season, start planning now. Here at the Red Wiggler Community Farm in Germantown, cover crops are wintering over in the frozen ground. A few months from now, this land will be filled with vegetables of all kinds. And while some of the fresh produce will be available at farmers markets, the lion's share will already be spoken for. That's because Red Wiggler operates a CSA.
CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. The principle is that the customer buys a share of food at the beginning of the season before even sometimes any plants are planted, and they pay up front. And then those customers come regularly throughout the growing season to pick up their share of that produce.
That's Kara Desmond. She manages the CSA program for Red Wiggler and says for farmers, the program makes good economic sense.
Farmers can know how many customers they're going to have for the season and then can have that monetary capital to buy the seeds and pay the people for the upcoming season.
And there's a benefit to consumers as well.
You are committed to eating healthfully for a season. You know, you have paid up front for the vegetables, and similar to a gym membership, you're more likely to go to the gym if you have a membership than maybe to work out on the equipment in your basement. So that's a great benefit to joining a CSA, and you're learning so that hopefully when in the off season you can go to the farmer's market and have an idea of what your likes and dislikes are, and broaden your palate and your understanding of what's in season when and what's local and what to expect when you go to the store.
So if you're interested in receiving a weekly harvest of delicious local food, now is the time to sign up. There are many that serve Montgomery County, and no two are alike. Some provide home delivery, others ask customers to come directly to their farm, and still others meet at a central location, like a farmer's market. The contents of each share differ from week to week, but also from farm to farm. So it's important to inquire.
So a share of food at Red Wiggler, it's usually 9 to 12 items in a week's share, and it's generally enough to feed 2 to 4 people, depending on how much of the produce you're using and how many times you go out to dinner a week and whatnot. But it's a variety of vegetables, and it's going to be what's in season. So you're not going to be getting tomatoes in April. You'll be getting kale and collards and beets and turnips and the root vegetables. And then in the summer, you'll get the tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and summer squash and eggplant and all the nightshades. And then in the fall, it kind of repeats the spring with the added winter squash and sweet potatoes.
Red Wiggler, like many CSAs, provides recipes so customers know how to prepare an unfamiliar item. It's truly an opportunity to expand your palate while supporting a local economy.
The CSA model really encourages local commerce and local jobs and local food. And so when you are buying a share of food from a local farm, you're supporting that economy, for one, and also you're supporting the environment because you're not transporting the food across the country. It's hopefully just going a few miles down the road. You know where the food's coming from. You can meet the farmers that have grown the food, and you really get a good sense of what the vegetables are and where they've come from.
Contact information for Red Wiggler is available through their website. CSA shares there are closing soon, but others are still available. Countryside Alliance appears to have the most up-to-date listing. Go to www.mocoalliance.org and click on Support Local. Visit our website at montgomeryplanning.org for complete, up-to-date planning information in Montgomery County. There, you'll find ways to access the Planning Department's many services. Well, that does it for this edition of Montgomery Plans. Join us again next time when we bring you more on the issues that affect quality of life here in Montgomery County. I'm Michael Brown. Thanks for watching.